So Sunday morning, all right, push your hips back. You can have your arms anywhere that feels okay for you. Oops, with my water. Let your belly soften, sink down between your thighs. Just come into some stillness, some release. That's probably, is that Cindy? Hi, good morning. So, if you're on the phone, Cindy, can you turn it the other way? I can see more of your view. Yeah, there you go. Great. Okay, guys, so sit your hips back to your heels in child's pose. Take a few grounding breaths, just a few moments to bring yourself into the space, into the experience. Let this hour be for you, stillness, softness, no worrying about work, phones, things going on around you. They will all be there waiting for you when you come back out of this class. Stretch your arms as wide as your mat. So a nice long stretch from shoulder to shoulder. Pushing the hips back towards the heels. And keeping the arms wide, begin to walk them over to your right side. So not hand on hand, just a little bit wider. Spread your fingers in two directions. And then feel a little bit more into the left side body. Inhale, come back up and walk over to the other side, but keep your arms wide when you get there. So the right arm maybe all the way to the right corner or left corner of the mat. Nice long stretch under the right side body. Inhale, come back to center, keeping the arms wide still. Inhale, walk your hands back towards your knees. If you need a block, take a block, and you can sit on the block or the floor with your knees forward and your feet against the block, the outer edges of the block. And just put your hands on your heels for a moment. Push down with your hands to lift your chest up, pull your shoulders back and down, broaden your collarbones. And find your tailbone lengthening underneath you towards the floor block. Good. Take a breath in as you float the arms up overhead, interlace your fingers, turn the palms inside out and upside down, biceps by your ears, and just a little side bend. Just getting some of the kinks out from, I don't know, whether you were just getting up out of bed, or you ran, or bicycle, road. Come back to center, keeping the arms up, rotate your torso to the right. Lift a little bit more out of your pelvis. And then release one arm to the back, one arm to the side. Lift up your heart. Keep turning the torso, the eye gaze follows along to the right side. Inhale, rise up to center, arms up. Interlace your fingers, the other finger over. Inhale, lift up. Ground through your sitting bones, ribs down. Lengthen as you inhale, and exhale, turn to your left side. So it's not going to be a huge lot of movement. Go only where your body gets you. And then float the arms down, one behind, one on the outside. Inhale. And exhale, twist. Each breath takes you deeper and deeper. Look over your left shoulder. And then come back to center. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers, and this time just push the hands behind the head, maybe towards the nape of the neck. Open the elbows out to the side, lift your heart up, let your head rest in your arms, but draw your ribs down towards your hips and your hips up towards your ribs. So there's no giant arch in your lower back. Take a breath. And then again, rotate to the right side. Just keep pulling the arms back and letting your head rest into the arms. Come back to center. Good, and exhale to the other side. Inhale, come back. Lift your heart. And then reach the arms up overhead again. Reach the arms in front of you. You're in child's pose and you're still on the block, it's fine. In this child's pose, pull your belly to your spine and round your back. And then on the inhaling breath, rise up onto your hands and knees. You can move the block away to the side if you'd like. Tuck your toes underneath you and find downward facing dog, hips up in the air. Bending one knee at a time, walking your dog from side to side. And when you're ready, settle into your downward dog, lift up high on your toes. And as you're on your toes, just step your feet as wide as your mat. And then bring the arms as wide as your mat, so like we did very earlier on this class. Lower your heels towards the floor, press your chest towards your thighs. Notice if you have a little bit more space in both the upper and the lower bodies, just to feel a little freedom. Breathe in, breathe out. Oh, here for you, Rich. Didn't even know. Walk your hands to your feet, back of the mat. Forward fold with your legs wide, grab opposite elbows. Shake out your neck, yes and no. And then sway a little side to side. And then settle down in the center. Send your weight forward into the balls of your feet and let your upper body just hang down. Release the arms and place them behind the heels or the calves, the back of the calves. Look forward, inhale. And then exhale. Bend your knees a lot so you can get your chest down towards your thighs, and then choose to stay there or perhaps straighten your legs a little bit more. So it's all very personal. This whole practice is very personal. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Take a breath in. Lengthen your spine. Turn yourself to the right side of your mat. Some of you are going to have to make adjustments. I know some apartments and some bedrooms are smaller. And just fold over here. Just fold over your right leg and pull your right hip back, left hip forward. You can have your hands on the blocks. You can have your knees very bent. Walk your hands as far forward as you can without lifting your back heel off the floor. Fold over. So it's kind of like a pyramid pose. Inhale, rise up, walk back to center, and do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to widen your legs a little bit more, but you're still as wide as your mat. Inhale, lengthen, and fold forward. And of course, you always have your hips width at least, rather than being on a tightrope. So bend the left knee as much as you want or need, and then walk your hands as far out as you can. And as you can means as far as you go until your heel lifts off the floor, or your couch or bed stops you. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Keep breathing here, folding, folding, lengthen your spine, inhale. And then walk your hands back around to the center. Take your feet back to as wide as the mat. Here's the good news, guys. We don't have any challenge today. It's our day off. Sway a little side to side. And then rise up, bring your hands to your hips, come all the way up to standing. Good. Stretch your arms over your head. Interlace your fingers, lift the heart up. Lean to your right side. Bring the hands behind your head and open your left elbow a little bit more. Try not to dump into your right side so you're not collapsing, you're still lifted. And then inhale back to center. Arms up in the air, exhale to the left. Hands behind your head, open your right shoulder, chest up. Hug your hips in while you squeeze your legs out. It's kind of a little confusing, right? We're squeezing our inner thighs, but we're pushing our outer heels out. One more breath to the center. Good, open your arms to the letter T. Turn your torso to the right side. Inhale. Reach forward and bring your left hand on top of your right foot shin or a block, and right arm comes up. You can bend your left knee now. So you'll get a little bit more movement in the torso, releasing a little bit more. One more breath. Look down, hands down, cross one arm over the other, pull against your opposite calves, look forward, and then fold. Release your arms in ragdoll, chin to chest, roll up through your spine. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, open your arms to a T. Good, rotate to the left. Reach your right arm forward, so it's like you're hinging into revolved triangle. And bring your right hand down, left arm up, and then you can go ahead and bend the right knee. Good, release your hands, one on either side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, head down, chin down, ragdoll your body to standing. Bring the arms overhead. Take the prayer to your heart center and just walk to the top of your mat. Take a couple steps, top of the mat. Arms down by your side, feet are strong, pressing down with the bottoms of your feet and lifting the knees up, tucking the tailbone under, broadening the collarbones, chin parallel to the floor, crown of the head to the sky. Inhale, stretch the arms all the way up. Exhale, open out and fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Go to the knees if you'd like to. Put one hand on either side of your foot, of your blocks. Good. Hug your hips towards midline, look forward, breathe. Inhale and exhale. Good. See if you can lift your belly away from your thigh. Good. Inhale, hover your fingertips from the floor. Find some strength in your glutes and rise up to stand all the way up. Bend your knees and lower your hips. Lift your heart up. Then release your arms behind your back. Hi, Laura. Palms down, lift your chest up. It happens. Straighten the front leg. Hinge forward over the front leg. Keep your spine long, head in line with your tailbone. So left leg is forward, arms are behind you. Now, right from here, keep your torso the same way, and just spin your back foot a little forward like a warrior one, and fold over your leg a little bit deeper. On top or inside will work. Breathe in, breathe out. Hug your left hip to the midline. Big toe, little toe, ball of the foot, heel of the foot on the floor. Inhale, rise up. Bring your arms up overhead. Good. Spin it open to warrior two. So if you're on your knees, you can do warrior two. If you're on your straight legs, right toes returning slightly forward, left knee is bent over the ankle. Hips open up side to side, heels pull in together. Inhale and exhale. So pull back a little more with your right arm so your shoulders are stacking over your hips. Breathe. Right arm down, left arm up. Lift up and over behind you. Try not to dump all your weight into the right hip. So lift or press your right hand to your hip so you kind of guide it forward. You have a little bit more space out of the right side of your torso to side bend. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, hands to the floor, spin your body forward. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Lift it off the floor, stay grounded with your hands on the block or floor, doesn't matter. And then bring your right knee to your chest, round and curl, and step the feet together. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold over. And then rise to stand, bring the arms with you. Exhale, take prayer to your heart center. Arms down by your side. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, fold your way, hands on floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. So find your grounding, go to your knees if you'd like to. Right knee over the ankle, hands are on the floor block. The back leg is very powerful right here. And the hips are hugging towards the midline. Broaden your collarbone so you're looking forward, not kind of crunching in and rounding your back. Then hover your fingertips off the floor and use the strength of your lower body to support you. Breathe in and out. And then bring your arms up overhead. Keep the arms up, bend the back knee. Drop the hips, pull the tailbone down towards the earth. Lift your heart up. Good. Keep the low hip, arms behind your back. Interlace your fingers, one finger over, knuckles down, heart lifts. Then begin to straighten your back leg and hinge over your right leg. Pull your right hip in towards the center. Good, staying in this position with your torso, you're just gonna spin your back foot forward a little bit, so like a warrior one, and then fold on top or inside of your right leg, head down, arms up. Release and breathe. Good. Inhale, rise up, open up to warrior two, so adjust your feet. The back toes are still pointing forward, maybe a little bit wider in the stance. Breathe, pull back with the left arm, pull forward with the right. Settling down by lowering your hips down, not by going into your front knee. Breathe. Inhale, reverse this. Pull your left hip towards your right hip. Find some side body stretch and relief. And inhale, come on back, hands to the floor or blocks. Spin your back foot forward. Put your weight into your right heel and lift your left leg off the floor just for a moment, floating in a supported warrior three. Then bring the knee to the chest, round curl. Feet together, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen and bring your arms overhead, hands to your heart center. Exhale. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Fold your way, hands to center or open out wide, you choose. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, step your right foot back. Come into your low crescent lunge, bring the arms up overhead. Good, exhale, bring the arms behind your back. Hinge forward, turn your back foot on its side, and fold inside of your left leg. Hug your left hip towards your center line. And using the strength of your arms to help pull you up, strength of your legs to keep you stable. Open the arms up for warrior one, inhale, and open up to warrior two, exhale. Reverse your warrior. From reverse warrior, straighten your front leg. And then stand up so you're facing the right side of your mat. Maybe shorten your stance and square your hips down, pelvis level. Inhale, now shift the pelvis back, or the hips back, reach forward, and reach as far as you can forward before the left hand touches down somewhere. Inside, outside, foot, shin, or block. Inhale, and exhale. Now, bring your tailbone underneath you. Pull your left hip towards the right side of the mat. Shoulders will stack, one over the other. Eye gaze can be up or down. Inhale, and exhale. Good, now, come back through a straight leg, reverse your triangle. Exhale, come back around, hands on the floor, blocks. Spin your back foot forward. Then lift your right leg off the floor. Release your hands, bring them to your heart. So your left leg is going to be bent, a lot or a little. Bring your right knee behind your left and have a seat on the floor. You can use your hands. So you've got your left foot forward. You're not sitting on your right heel, but you're in that twist. Right hand behind you, left arm up. Take your left arm inside of your left leg and twist to the right. Press down with your right arm to give you length in your spine. Twist open and maybe hug your left knee and your left tricep together. Inhale for length. Exhale for the depth. Inhale to the center. So some of you might have to stay on your knees for this and adjust. Bring yourself up with your left hand in front. You can have your right hand on the floor or block. Right leg in the air, and then spin open to your right side for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Stack your shoulders, and then perhaps your hips will open a little bit more. The leg doesn't need to be high. It should be parallel to the floor. So even if you're on your knee, right? The leg is parallel to the floor. Nice. That's it. Follow your body's cues, right? Take another breath. Listen carefully. Step back to a warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to a high plank. First time we're visiting plank this morning, say hello. Broaden your collarbones. Shift forward, bend your elbows, or go to your knees. Roll through, take your time here. Stay in your up dog for a few moments just to relieve and to find a little space. Then roll over, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. On your tippy toes, look forward, bend your knees, and take yourself to the top of your mat. Halfway lift when you get there. Exhale, let it go. And ride your breath to stand all the way up. Bring the arms with you. Bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, take a forward fold your way. Hands to floor, shins or blocks, lengthen your spine, inhale. Exhale, step your left foot all the way back. Inhale, rise to your crescent. Exhale, arms behind your back, take a finger over. Lift your heart, inhale, hinge forward. And then turn your back foot on its side, and then fold for humble warrior. Left back foot is firmly on the floor, right hip is pulling into the center. Inhale, rise up. Find warrior one for the breath. Warrior two to the left side. Settle in for a moment, just find your adjustments here. Legs, shoulders, hips. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Then straighten your front leg. Good. And find, did we do triangle? Well, we're going to do it now. Breathe in, breathe out. Yes, we did. Tuck your tailbone underneath you, lift your knee up. Meaning lift the knee cups up, engage your quadricep muscles rather than pulling the knee behind you. And then lift the bottom side of your torso up and in. All the toes are pressing firmly to the floor. Your shoulders stack as if you were leaning the whole back side of your body against a wall, and both shoulders would touch. Perhaps both sides of your hips would touch. Find your energy, find your length. Inhale, look down. Rise up, reverse your triangle. Exhale, hands to the floor, spin your body forward. Come into a supported warrior three. And then maybe bring your hands to your heart. Oops. And then step your left knee behind your right ankle and have a seat on the floor. Adjust so you're not sitting on your heel. Take your left hand up behind you. Right arm up inside of you. Hug your knee to your tricep. Look over your left side. So try not to lean onto your left side so your right hip comes all the way up. Try to keep grounding your right hip towards the floor. Inhale through the length of your spine. Exhale, twist. Breathe in, breathe out. And then inhale, look through the center. Step your right foot forward. Right hand comes in front or to the side or on a block. Step up, and we're going to take our left leg in the air into Ardha Chandrasana, happen. Stack your right hip over your right knee, and then maybe the left arm comes up. We find a little more space and rotate through the center. You can look up, you can look down, you can take any variations that really work for you here. Inhale. So find the firmness out of the right hip, most important. One more breath. Good. Exhale, hand down, step back to a low lunge. Step back to a high plank. Take a breath. Shift forward, take chaturanga, 1, 2, or none. And we all meet in downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Now stay with your feet at the back of the mat, touching your toes together. Lift high up on your toes. Lift your right leg high in the sky. Open the right hip to the right side. Lower the left heel towards the floor, but keep your right underarm pointed back or pointed down. And just let your foot just kind of hang there for now. Inhale and exhale. Good. Square your hips, right knee to the chest, round and curl. Turn your back foot on its side. Windmill open to warrior two, so this is the side we just came out of. Straighten your front leg. Shorten your stance if you'd like. Reach your torso forward. Triangle pose. Right arm down, left arm up. Hug your hips underneath you, hug your tailbone underneath you. Find space underneath your rib cage. Look down to your toes. Inhale, reverse this. Exhale, bring your hands down on the floor blocks. Lift your left leg in the air. Release your hands. I can't today for some reason. Right knee behind, left knee, excuse me, behind right. Have a seat on the floor. Inhale, right arm inside. Left hand side or back. Inhale back to center. So listen carefully. Right leg is going to come forward. We're going to do Ardha Chandrasana again. We did this before. Take the arm up. And then release your left hand on a block in front of you. Square your hips off. And see if you can bring your right hand to your hip first. And then rotate your torso to the right. Keeping the length in the torso, keeping the hugging of the hips towards the midline. So keep your right hip really pulling in. You know, this is a very challenging pose. So your leg is off the floor, your should be parallel as best you can to the floor. Take another breath. Good, now bring your left knee behind your right ankle again. Left hand comes down, right hand comes behind you, and here's the twist you've been yearning for, perhaps. Your spinal twist. Look over your right shoulder. Press your right hip towards the floor. Inhale and exhale. So now you can stay with the twist. Some of you take arm balance here. So you're going to rise up onto your left shin, hands on the outside of your right hip. Maybe some of you can do this with just your right arm free. Or maybe you're going to come up and maybe lift the legs up. You can cross them, you can extend them. You can just try it for the moment. When you're ready, you come back down into your twist, and then turn your torso forward. Good. Take your right knee on top of your left knee, cow pose. So you're on the floor, you're not on your hips, you could be on a block. Arms up, inhale. Good. Take your right arm behind your head. Take your left arm up your back. You can use a towel if you feel the need to have to touch. Opposite hands, right? Or you can stay here, just live with it. Press your head into your arms like we did before here, right? Keep length in your spine as you fold forward, perhaps. So, you know, to the degree of your flexibility, right? Or how much you can tolerate the hips. It's a really strong posture. I'm just going to sing for you. So if you're folded over, it's a little bit more intense. Come back up to sitting. Release your hands, roll your shoulders around. Come to your hands and shift forward onto your knees. Tuck your toes underneath you. And walk your feet back. Keep them crossed to the back of your mat. Walk your hands to the back of your mat. Forward fold. So right pinky and left pinky are close to touching. Some of you will. Inhale, lengthen. Walk to your right side. Don't go too far, so you don't want to have the hips come out of the center too much. Forward fold, let go. And then come on back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Cross one ankle behind the other. If you'd like to do a push-up here, do a little chaturanga. Come up and meet in downward dog. Left leg in the air. Open the left hip open. Bend the knee back. Drop the shoulders down. Let the foot kind of hang out. Practice hugging your right hip in here. Right? This is where we go in our standing poses. And then bring your knee to the chest. Come forward. Step it all the way through. Turn your right foot on its side. Windmill to warrior two. Exhale. Straighten the leg. Inhale. Adjust your back foot if you'd like. Reach out. Left hand down, right arm up. Triangle pose. Stay for a couple breaths because that's the way you're going to feel it. Look down. Reverse it. Exhale, come down, hands on the floor blocks. Right leg in the air. Hands to your heart. Right knee behind left. Have a seat. We're going on the inside. Left arm inside, right arm behind you. Hug your left knee towards your left tricep. Look forward. Left hand down, lift up into your half moon. Right leg up, right arm up, spin it open. Find the length in your spine from tailbone to top of the head, and find that left leg hugging in firmly. Right hand to the floor. Good, put your hand on the block or the floor. Left hand to your hip, right leg long behind you, lengthen your spine. Then twist to the left side, left arm perhaps comes up. Twisted, half moon, revolved, half moon. Parvrita, Ardha, Chandrasana. Take a breath. Right knee behind left ankle. Have a seat, left arm back, right arm up. Twist to the outside of your left thigh, lift it up. Now we're pushing our arm and leg in opposition in this one, in this twist. Okay, so I'm pushing my knee away while I push my knee against my arm. You can stay right here in the twist, or if you took the other side, maybe you want to try an arm balance. You can have your left arm free, or sit on top of both triceps, and maybe the legs will float off the floor. Maybe you wrap double bind a couple times. Maybe you're happy right where you are and just twisting. If you're off the floor, come on back to your twist. Take another breath. And then turn your torso forward. Stack your left knee over your right knee, or sit on a block will help you. So cow face pose. You know, if there's an ideal way of doing this pose, your knees are stacked one on the other, your heels are in line with each other. It's not ideal for me, but I'm going to keep working on it. Take your left arm overhead, bring the arm down behind your, or between your shoulder blades, nice stretch right here, and then take your right arm back behind you. Some of you will be able to touch your fingers. Some of you might want to use a towel or a strap. If you feel the need to, hold on to your opposite hands, that's fine. Stay with this, take a breath, and then fold forward over your legs. So if your hips are tight, you're going to feel it a lot sooner than somebody who's a little bit more open. So stop where you feel it, take a couple of moments of breathing, and then just fold yourself as far as you want. Keep your hips on the ground. Inhaling and exhaling. Stay grounded, everybody. Breathe in, breathe out. Slowly come on back up to sitting. If you have anything you held with, get rid of it. Put it off to the side. Come onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes and come into a short fold. And then start to walk your feet back, keeping the legs crossed. So you're in a cross-legged downward dog. Walk your hands back to your feet, back of the mat. Take a halfway lift here. Exhale, fold, and walk yourself over to the left side as far as you can go without, having to bring that right hip all the way forward. It's a little nice IT band stretch. Not so nice, maybe. And then come on back to center. Halfway lift, inhale. Walk yourself out to a plank. Choose to take that through a push-up or just go to your down dog, and you can release your legs when you get there. Find your true downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. High up on your toes. Bend your knees. Take yourself to the top of your mat. Halfway lift when you get there. Exhale, forward fold. Let it all go. Inhale, rise to stand. Bring your hands to your heart center. Exhale, arms to your side. Good. Step your left leg back 2 to 3 feet. 2 to 3 feet, but keep your hips wide, your feet wide. Take your arms behind your back. This time you can interlace your fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, or take a reverse prayer up this back of your spine. And then level out your hips if you can see yourself in your camera. Notice that you might be here with your left hip higher or your right hip higher, and then pull the right hip back, left hip forward. Pull your knees up. Thank you, Siri. Inhale, lift your chest, and exhale, come down just about halfway. Just about halfway. Good. Pushing firmly into your right big toe as well as your left. Inhale. Now find your deepest fold with a long spine. No rounded spine here. Getting lift out of your pelvis and fold, fold, fold. Good. Keep your right hand on your back. Left arm down, inside, outside, use a block. Turn your right palm to your sacrum if you have it in any other direction. Lengthen and twist to the right side. Hug your hips in. We've done, variations of this morning. Breathe in, breathe out. One more breath. Release your hands outside your right leg. Just a little steer pose. If you want to roll onto the outer edge of your right foot, that's fine. And then walk back to center. Put a bend in your right knee, enough that you can put your forehead on it. Look upwards towards your belly button. Keep this as a rounded spine. Kind of a unique posture, mostly found in the hot lineage. Walk your hands forward. Take your palms together, cross the thumb in front of the other. Biceps stay by your ears. Roll up to standing. Good. Now bring your hands to your heart. See if you can just bring your left leg up to your chest. Press down firmly through the right foot. Open your arms to a T. Extend your left leg out. Without holding on, rotate your torso to the left. Rotate back to center. Arms up. Leg down. Separate your feet hips width. Fold over your legs. Peace finger grip around your big toes. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Send your weight towards the balls of your feet. Let your head come down. Shake it out, yes. And shake it out, no. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to your hips. Rise up to stand. Bring your feet closer. Bring your arms down by your side. Just ground yourselves for a moment. Step your right foot back 2 to 3 feet. Keep your your feet hips width apart, at least. And then check out the levelness of your pelvis, right? So square your shoulders, square your hips. Good. Bring your arms behind your back. Do whatever you did on the other side if it still works for you. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, come halfway down. And just stop halfway. And like I said, if you have your camera or a mirror, just check out the levelness of your hips. It's hard to feel a lot, but sometimes we can catch it, and sometimes we can't. Take me the way I am. It is what it is. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Inhale. And then fold a little bit more over your left shin. Keeping the spine long. So if you're rounding your spine, just back off a little bit. Good. Now we're going to keep the left hand on the sacrum. Right hand comes to the floor, lengthen your spine. So first find that length before you begin to make the rotations, and then take your hand on the block floor, shin, and twist to the left side. Hug your hips towards midline. And then left arm comes up. Take another breath, and then release your hands outside your left leg. As far back as your body will allow. You can roll off to the left pinky side of your toe, or you can keep it down, and it just changes the action of, or the motion of what we're doing. You'll feel it a little bit differently, maybe, perhaps, maybe not. And then walk yourself back to the center. Bend your left knee. Put your chin to your chest and your forehead on your knee. Look upwards towards your knee, or towards your belly button. Walk your hands forward. If you remember which thumb, cross the other one. Look upwards towards your belly button. Chin to chest. Roll up to standing. Take your time. Come all the way up. Good. Open your arms to a T. Send your weight to your left leg and see if you could just pull your right leg up and balance. Hold. You can keep the knee bent or extend the leg. Rotate your torso to the right. Hug your left hip in. Find length in your spine as you rotate and find the most you can get out of it. And then come on back to center, arms up, leg down. Forward fold, separate your feet. This time stand on your hands. Lift your toes up, wrap your big toe around your wrist. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Release your hands to the floor, look up. Step, step, high plank, take a breath there. Settle. Shift forward, bend your elbows, take a moment. Inhale, upward dog, take another moment. And exhale, downward dog. Yeah, you can take your extra push-ups, of course. Rise onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward, take yourself to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to hips, rise up. All right. Inhale, lift your right knee off the floor, right foot off the floor. Take your left hand to your outside of your knee or outside of your foot. Take your right arm in the air. Stay here, or the same thing we just did, but extending the leg and holding on to it. Now, my leg doesn't go straight. Your leg doesn't have to go straight, but you can also hold on to the knee. You could also do it in a seated position. Yeah, Michelle, lower your leg a little bit. Trying to keep the leg parallel to the floor. And some of you will even turn your eye gaze back towards your right hand. And then come back to center, release your hands, arm up, leg up. Lower the foot. Bring the hands to your heart. Arms by your side. Good. Inhale, hands to hips, left leg up. Right hand to the knee or to the outside of the foot. Take your time. Left arm rises up. Extend your leg out or not. Lift, lift, lift. So really keep hugging that right hip towards the center. It's challenging, yeah. You could also use a strap or towel. You could hold on higher. And then maybe eventually the left arm goes behind you and you can look towards it. Come back to center slowly. Arms up. Aww. I didn't know Rachel was going to be here for this playlist. Arm down, leg down, arms up. Exhale, forward fold and let it go. Aw. I hope you can hear this. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step, step, high plank, take a breath. Exhale, low plank, take a breath. Inhale, upward dog, take a breath. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Take yourself towards the front of your mat and have a seat on the floor. All right, so your legs are down. I just want to sing right now. Hands underneath your thighs. Move the flesh. Sit forward of your sitting bones. Lift up tall. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Walk your feet in a little closer. Hug your arms around your shins or grab your elbows, fingers, wrists, wherever you can. And let's bring our feet a little closer and now bring our knees a little closer. Then can you bring your heels closer to your hips? Release your left hand, hold your arm with your left hand, release your right hand. And if you did the other way, it's okay. And I get to kiss you. Release it, switch sides. All right, so pretty easy when we're holding on with one hand. Now see if you can release both arms without anything else changing. So the knees don't splay open, we don't shvampasana, right? Sit up, sit up, sit up. Bring your chin to your chest, squeeze your knees together, pull your belly in. Start to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Slow, 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 slow. Make sure your middle back touches before your upper back does. And when you get to the floor, legs up parallel to the floor. Knees over hips, arms out to the side, inhale. Exhale, bring your knees to the right side. Hover the legs off the floor for 3, 2, don't let the legs touch. Inhale back to center. Exhale up and over to the other side, hover. Don't touch the floor, keep your legs together. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the right side, hover. Extend your legs if you have the space. Don't worry if you don't. Bend the knees. You're still hovering. Inhale to the center. Exhale up and over to the left side. If you have the space, extend your legs. Rebend. Get back to center. Inhale. And exhale, shift your hips left, let your knees now touch the floor to the right. Right hand on top of the leg. Left arm can go over your head, or just stay out to the side. Open your arms to a T. Inhale, bring the knees back to chest, back to center. Shift your hips right, let your knees fall to the left. Twist. Right arm is over the head or out to the side. Inhale back to center. I do believe this song was written for the MSD tragedy. Let your legs come up in the air. Tailbone down to the floor. Bring your belly to your spine, ribs to your hips. Take your arms up towards the sky like you're holding a block, and maybe you want to. Flex your feet like you're standing on the ceiling. Pull your belly and ribs down and lift your hips up. So it's not huge. If you feel good there, you want to lift your arms up and head up and chest up and shoulders up. Breathe. Take 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees in, head down. Hug your knees all the way up. All right, let's take some bridge work today. Hands on the floor, feet on the floor. Hold on to your ankles or your shins or your calves or the heels. And once you put your feet on the floor, you probably have a little bit of an arch here. Maybe it's a lot of an arch. So think about just pushing your pubic bone to the sky and keeping your back a little bit more supported. Now, without lifting your back off the floor, start to lift just your lower body off the floor, your tush. So your waistline is on the floor. Your hips, your buttocks is off the floor. So it's like a big scoop out. Then lower your buttocks, and then arch your back, and you get that back again, that big arch. So go ahead and go back down, tilting the pelvis, arms by your side. Start to peel yourself off the floor. Now you're fully off the floor, shoulders underneath you. You can hold onto your hands, onto your heels, big toe, little toe, pressing down firmly. You can stay here, or take your arms so your fingers are by your shoulders, and maybe come into a full wheel pose. Your choice. And once you are in your full wheel, you have other choices. You can take some push-ups here. You can lift a leg in the air. So choose what works for you today. Wherever you are, a couple more breaths before coming out of it. Top of the head, chin, shoulders. Don't hug your knees in. We'll do one more. Bring your knees towards each other and rock and roll side to side. Come back to center. Start in a bridge. You can take support now if you prefer to be a little bit more restorative. Lift up into your bridge, and your block can be on any of the three heights. Or if you want another back bend, hands by your shoulders. Come lightly to your head as you press down and open your heart. Breathe in, breathe out. And so if you want to take any other movements in that wheel pose, good job, guys. Upper back, mid back, lower back down to the floor. One more time, hug your knees all the way into your chest. Keep your right knee to the chest as the left leg goes out. Move your right knee a little bit on the outside of the rib cage. Take your left hand and draw the knee across the body and get that nice spinal twist. Inhale to the center. Bring both knees in. Keep the left one in. Lower the right leg. Bring the knee on the outside of the rib cage. Right hand crosses over or brings the knee to cross over. On your back, hug both knees to your chest. Take another few moments to decide if this is where you're ready to go into your Savasana, or you have something else you'd like to practice before. If not, lay on your back, find your Savasana. Let your arms rest by your side, palms facing up, your hips play open. Everything soft in the back side of your body. Everything soft in the front side of your body. And if you're working with any other poses, if it's two-sided, make sure you do both sides. And when you're ready to make your way into your final Shavasana, take this opportunity to give yourself the best gift of all. If you want to cover your eyes, your body, support yourself, take the opportunity to do that. And you can always stay longer, so feel free to just shut me off now or stay with it for a few moments. bring yourselves back to Sunday. Begin to move through your fingers, toes, wrists, and ankles as you just start some small movement back into your body. And then on your own time, bring your knees to your chest. And remember, if you want to stay, stay. Take yourself onto either side, hug your knees all the way up to your chest. And make your way back to a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your heart center. Thank yourselves for getting to your yoga this morning. No matter what you did on the mat today, it will be beneficial to you. Bowing down to each other. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace to all. And bowing down, honoring the light, the peace, the goodness, the love, the beauty within each one of you. Namaste, Satnam, go in peace. And everybody, if you're home, stay home, stay fit, stay healthy. Wear a mask, get vaccinated.